I'm going to be real. That timing raises eyebrows. Just as Joe McCann is still catching heat over the death of Ashlee Jenae, suddenly a Miami stripper appears out of nowhere, claiming to expose Ashlee's secret life. People aren't ignoring that coincidence, and a lot of them are starting to question what's really going on behind the scenes. To some, it feels way too convenient. The narrative quickly shifts from Ashlee being a bride-to-be to someone living a hidden lifestyle, and that changes how the whole situation is viewed. Because if people start seeing her differently, it can influence what they believe happened. And that's exactly why this is getting so much attention. So the real question being asked is, who benefits from this story coming out right now? That's where the conversation gets intense. Critics are saying it looks like a distraction, like the focus is being pulled away from finding real answers and pushed toward dissecting Ashlee's past instead. And honestly, many expected clearer answers by now, but instead, it feels like more layers keep getting added. The case is still surrounded by uncertainty, and now this new claim is only making things more complicated. So here's what's being said. This Miami stripper is alleging that Ashlee was living a double life and is stepping forward to confirm it. That claim alone is stirring reactions everywhere, and people are trying to figure out what's fact, what's rumor, and what might be something else entirely. Now the story gets even more layered. There are claims floating around about a second Instagram page that was supposedly tied to Ashlee, where she allegedly posted content related to stripping and service work. And people are saying that account has now been taken down. But here's the catch. There haven't been any confirmed screenshots or solid proof shown publicly, which has others questioning how real this claim actually is. What some people did notice, though, is that her current Instagram page has very few posts. That detail alone has sparked speculation, with some suggesting it could mean there was another account at some point. But again, that's not confirmed. Then there's talk about her Twitter, where people claim there were more bold or spicy posts, adding even more noise to the situation. The same Miami source is also alleging that Ashlee worked as a bottle girl at Dare South in Miami, Florida, and that this could be where she met certain people in her circle. That claim is spreading fast, even though it's still being debated online. Then people start analyzing her social media presence. Some say instead of promoting clear products like a typical influencer, Ashlee seemed to showcase a lifestyle without an obvious income stream. That observation has led to even more questions being thrown around. At the same time, her friends have come forward saying she had a hair care brand and was doing well for herself. But critics are asking, if that's true, where are the promotions, the ads, the consistent posts about it? That gap is exactly what's fueling more speculation. And on top of all that, others claiming to have known Ashlee personally have started sharing their own statements too, adding even more voices and even more confusion into an already complicated situation. And now things take an even sharper turn because someone claiming to know Ashlee personally has come forward with a statement that's spreading fast online. They're saying, "No one's saying it, so I'll say it. Ashlee may be an influencer now, but everyone in Miami knows she used to be a stripper." That quote alone has people reacting heavily because it's coming off as direct and very personal. The same source goes on to claim that Joe and Ashlee first crossed paths at a party, where she was working as a dancer and ended up in his section. From there, they describe a fast-moving relationship, saying the two were traveling, staying in luxury hotels, and dealing with ongoing ups and downs over the past year and a half. It doesn't stop there. According to this account, their engagement reportedly wasn't a one-time thing. It allegedly happened more than once. They also claim there were prior incidents where authorities had to step in during disputes, adding even more intensity to how people are viewing the relationship. Then the focus shifts to Joe, with claims about him being under investigation for financial issues, specifically involving investment profits that didn't match reality. That detail has people raising serious questions, even though it's still part of ongoing discussion and not fully confirmed publicly. The person sharing all this frames the relationship as having a major imbalance, suggesting that dynamic played a role in how everything unfolded. But it's important to remember, these are still claims and opinions being circulated, not verified facts. What remains real through all of this is the loss of Ashlee's life and the continued call for clarity and truth for her family as the situation unfolds. However, a lot of people are still side-eyeing how hard this escort narrative is being pushed right now. To them, it feels like a distraction from what actually happened, especially since the main claims are coming from someone who hasn't been fully verified. That alone has people questioning the credibility and wondering who's really behind all of this. Some are even saying this could be a planted story, pushed to shift attention away from the bigger picture. Because once you start labeling someone a certain way, it can change how the public reacts. And not everyone is comfortable with that at all. There's also a growing concern that these rumors are being used to tear down Ashlee's image. The fear is that if people start believing she lives some kind of double life, they might not push as hard for answers or accountability. And that's exactly why her supporters are speaking up louder than ever. They're arguing that regardless of any rumors, Ashlee appeared to be happy, making plans, and looking forward to her future, which makes certain claims about what happened even harder for them to accept. Meanwhile, online conversations are heating up, with many saying the story just doesn't add up. Whether she was an influencer, had other work, or both, people feel like there are still too many unanswered questions. And then there's another angle being whispered. Some are even speculating whether these stories are being quietly fed to blogs to control the narrative. The idea is that if Ashlee is painted in a certain light, it could make other claims about her seem more believable, and this is where people really start calling it a smokescreen. The argument being made is that by pushing this second life story so hard, the focus shifts away from more serious questions, like why certain reports are mentioning possible signs of harm. Instead of digging into that, the internet is stuck debating what Ashlee may or may not have done for a living. Some even go as far as speculating that the narrative is being amplified on purpose to make it feel more believable. That idea has been spreading fast, even though there's no confirmed proof behind it. It's all part of the growing suspicion surrounding the case. At the same time, more claims about Joe have started surfacing over the past few days, and people are paying close attention. There are reports describing arguments between them during their trip, along with talk about delays in notifying Ashlee's family after everything happened. Others are alleging he left her alone at times and was seen socializing elsewhere, which only adds more tension to the story being told online. Then there's another layer involving financial pressure. People have pointed out that Joe is connected to a crypto fund called Asymmetric, which has reportedly taken major losses. That's already raising eyebrows, especially when paired with news that he quickly shifted toward launching a new venture aiming to raise a massive amount of money. From there, theories start stacking up. Some are questioning whether public displays of the relationship were meant to present a perfect image, while others are speculating about possible financial motives. But it's important to keep in mind, these are all claims and online discussions, not confirmed conclusions. What's clear is that the situation is getting more complex by the day, with new angles, new questions, and a growing demand for real answers. And then people point to what happened next, saying the situation only got more confusing. The incident took place in a foreign country with different legal systems, which already makes everything harder to follow and verify. That alone has raised concerns for many watching from the outside. It also doesn't sit right with Ashlee's family, based on what they've shared publicly. They said the first time they heard something was wrong was when Joe called, telling them Ashlee was in the hospital. But the details were limited. Her mother reportedly asked basic questions like when and where it happened, and was told it had occurred hours earlier, which immediately raised more questions. According to the family's account, communication then stopped completely. The next update didn't even come from Joe. It came from the hotel, informing them that Ashlee had passed away. Since then, they've said they haven't heard directly from him. No condolences, no involvement in arrangements, no follow-up while he remains overseas. That silence is a major point of concern for many people following the case. Now online, there are also serious accusations being thrown around, with some speculating about possible interference or influence on local processes. However, it's important to be clear, those claims have not been proven, and they remain part of online discussion rather than confirmed fact. Then there's the media angle, which adds another layer. Reports suggest that news of Ashlee's passing didn't immediately spread, and coverage was limited at first. Some outlets only picked it up after international attention grew, and even then, people noticed inconsistencies between different reports. All of this combined has created a situation where questions just keep piling up between the timeline gaps, the communication issues, and the conflicting narratives. People are left trying to piece together what really happened and demanding clearer answers as the story continues to unfold. Now, here's the part that comes from the official account, and it's what many people are trying to piece together. According to reports, Ashlee and Joe had an argument that led to them being placed in separate villas, said to be about 8 to 10 minutes apart. That detail alone has raised questions about what really happened during that time. On the day Ashlee was found, an attendant was reportedly doing routine rounds and stopped by Villa 25 where Ashlee was staying. She asked him for a phone charger, and he gave her one before continuing on to check other villas nearby. But before he left, she asked him to return in about 10 minutes, which is a key detail in the timeline. According to the director of criminal investigations, the attendant came back closer to 20 minutes later. When he returned, he knocked, but there was no response. The lights were off, which immediately raised concern. So he used an emergency key to enter the room. That's when he reportedly found Ashlee in a critical condition inside the villa. The situation was described as extremely serious, and she was still alive but in distress at the time. The attendant quickly raised the alarm, and emergency services rushed her to a nearby hospital for treatment. After initial care, she was transferred to another facility for more specialized help. Despite those efforts, Ashlee sadly passed away the following day at around 3 p.m., according to the official timeline. This version of events is what authorities have shared so far, but for many people, it still leaves a lot of unanswered questions, especially when compared to everything else being discussed online. And even with that official timeline laid out, people are still pointing out gaps that don't quite sit right. One of the biggest questions is the timing. Why was there a delay between when Ashlee asked for help and when the attendant returned? That small window is now being heavily debated because some believe those minutes could be critical to understanding what really happened. Others are questioning the setup itself. If Ashlee had just spoken to the attendant and was expecting him back shortly, what changed in that short span of time? That detail has people analyzing every part of the sequence, trying to figure out if something is missing from the story. Then there's the issue of the villas being separated. Being 8 to 10 minutes apart means there was distance between Ashlee and Joe during that time. And people are asking what each of them was doing in those moments. That's another piece of the puzzle that hasn't been clearly explained. On top of that, critics are pointing out inconsistencies between different reports that have surfaced. Small details don't always line up the same way, and that's only adding to the confusion and suspicion surrounding the case. All of this is why the public isn't settling for simple answers. The timeline, the gaps, and the unanswered questions are keeping this story alive, with more people digging deeper and demanding clarity on what really happened during those crucial moments. And now, the pressure is building even more, because people are no longer just looking at the timeline. They're demanding independent answers. There's a growing call for a full, transparent investigation that goes beyond the initial reports, especially with so many unanswered questions still hanging in the air. Supporters are pushing for things like a detailed forensic review, clearer documentation, and outside oversight to make sure nothing gets overlooked. All of this is exactly why many supporters believe the focus is being pulled in the wrong direction. They argue that debates about Ashlee's personal life are overshadowing the real issue: what actually happened to her in those final hours. Because at the end of the day, if the conversation stays stuck on rumors instead of facts, the truth risks getting buried. And that's why so many people are refusing to let this story fade without clarity. What do you think is really going on here? Do these details add up to you, or does something feel off? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit like, subscribe for more updates, and share this so more people can see what's being uncovered.